Hi, I'm Saravanan. In this video, we'll talk about how to build trust in relationships. If intimacy, communication, respect, and commitment are four cornerstones of a relationship, these can be built on a foundation of trust. Trust is like a bridge on which you walk through a relationship. Imagine walking on a bridge which is not stable. It will jerk, it may also throw you out, isn't it? So let us find out how we can build trust. Now let us get an understanding about the five cornerstones of the relationship. If you look at this pentagon, the top two, you have communication and intimacy. Communication and intimacy are external manifestations of deep level of trust and commitment in a relationship. Communication and intimacy are built on deep level of commitment and respect in a relationship. And these four are built on a foundation of trust. Let us talk about communication, because in most relationships, people say communication breakdown is a major barrier. People don't talk to each other. They are emotionally distanced from each other. If you ask me, this communication breakdown happens only because there is lack of commitment and lack of trust. So if communication has to work well, then there should be trust. What is communication? Now let us talk about the two top level cornerstones of the relationship: communication and intimacy. Now what is communication? Most people think that communication is sharing everything, expressing everything. And the most common complaint is, my partner does not share, he or she is not honest, and whatever. Please understand, communication is not just sharing or expressing. The meaning of communication is its effect, which means I want to say something to you with a certain objective, maybe to make you feel more loved or to make you understand. And if that is the goal of communication, I should be able to create a proper space in which we have to communicate. If I just share whatever I have, I can tell you, friends, there are relationships that are broken down because people just wanted to communicate everything and the other person was not able to take it. So basically, when it comes to communication, we should understand that the meaning of communication is its effect. It is not just sharing or expressing. And I should find the right place, the right time, and maybe the right setup to communicate. Then communication becomes effective. Now, I communicate something to somebody. How does the other person take it? That is where intimacy plays a role. When I talk of intimacy, most people think it's only physical intimacy. I would say physical intimacy comes after there is proper emotional intimacy and intellectual intimacy, which means I am able to understand and relate to the emotions of other person. I am able to understand and relate to the needs of another person. And third most important thing, there is some wavelength in which we talk. When you talk about intellectual intimacy, we are talking about an awareness about those points or those ideas where we are in sync and those ideas where we are not in sync. So I communicate something, and for the communication to land and give the right effect, there should be proper setup, a proper space, and an amount of understanding, which is what we call as intimacy. Now, for these two things to happen, which means for communication and intimacy to happen right, there should be commitment and respect. Yes, when you talk about commitment, it is like having an understanding that, yes, we are here for a certain purpose, we are here to achieve a certain goal together, and we are here to be together. And there should be commitment in the relationship. It can be any relationship. It can be relationship between two partners, husband and wife. It can be relationship between friends. It can be relationship between parents and children, or maybe between you and your colleague at office. First, there has to be a commitment that, yes, we are here to travel the path together. And for commitment to happen, we should clearly know what each of us expect from a relationship. That's very important. The foundation of commitment basically is clarifying expectations and in a way getting that contract right. When I say contract, a type of understanding as to what I am willing to compromise, that's very important, what I am willing to give and what I am willing to take. All these three are needed for the commitment to happen. And if commitment has to happen well, And if I had to commit to you, what is needed? I need to respect you as a person, as an individual. Those times are gone, or the fairy tale stories are gone, where I start saying that you and me are same. Correct? That's a fairy tale cinematic story. You and me are same, we love each other, I am there for you, you are there for me. We don't have any boundaries between each of us. No. That happens maybe in fairy tales. They lived happily ever after. In real-time relationship, there has to be respect for each as an individual, which means you respect your needs, you respect the other person's needs. That's very important. What they like, what they do not like, their opinions, they should just feel valued, and you value yours also. Yes, there will be contradictions. There will be certain areas where your needs and your opinions may not meet each other, but we should be aware of it. When I am aware of it, when I am aware of the differences, then there is respect. So basically, the top level, 4 important cornerstones of relationship: communication, intimacy, commitment, and respect. This is like a house, the wall and roof of the house. And if you ask me, these 4 can happen when there is trust in the relationship. Now first let us understand what is trust. Trust basically is this: no matter what happens, I am very clear and I trust that the other person will wish good for me. That is trust. There can be difference of opinion. He or she may not come at the right time. They may keep postponing things, whatever it is. But we should be very clear that yes, the intention is not to displease me, not to put me down, and the intention is for my good. If that trust is broken, if I start doubting the intention of the other person, then let me tell you, relationship goes for a toss. And that is which actually leads to many challenges in a relationship. Let us, before understanding what to do to develop trust, let us understand the symptoms that trust has broken. The first and most common symptom is a communication breakdown, which means frequent arguments. People don't even want to talk about differences and they just stay away from each other. You can call it emotional distancing, angry outbursts, or whatever. There is a clear tension between 2 people. They are not ready to talk. They are not able to be in the presence of each other. Trust is broken. Yes. And stonewalling is something which is very common today, which means I just shut myself off. I just do not want to listen to the other person, which means whatever the other person says, it just bounces back. That's very common when there is trust which is broken. Next, possessiveness, jealousy. They are also indications that trust has been broken. Yes, it's very common today where people who don't trust each other start looking into the messages of the other person. They start spying on the phones or even the diary of other person and whatever, the call log, everything. There are indications again that trust is broken. And jealousy. Jealousy is also there with 2 people working. Then each have their own bank accounts. They don't share what they spend, how much they get. They are all indications that we need to do something about it and get the relationship back together. Lack of support is one more important feeling that comes when there is lack of trust. People feel lonely, they don't feel cared for, they feel that their emotions and their feelings are not valued and their opinions are not valued. When this is there, it again means there is no trust, there is no intimacy, or that also leads to communication breakdown. Basically, these are the common symptoms which show that there is lack of trust. Now, let us come to the most important point, the important topic of this video as to how to build trust. To build trust, first, as I told you before, we should have a very clear understanding as to why we are in a relationship first. That's very important. First, I should know why I am in a relationship. It can be any relationship. What is my role in the relationship? The relationship, if you are a parent and if you want to build trust with a child, you should know what is my role. Why am I there? Why do I call myself as a parent? What is that and in what way can I support? I think I should be very clear about it. And then I understand what I expect from the other person. First, what will I give? Why I am here? Why this relationship in the first place? Not saying, yeah, I'm the parent, I'm the father. No, or I'm the mother. No. What is my role? Why? Why do you say that I'm a mother? What is the difference between this relationship or other relationships? Get a list of it. Understand for yourself as to why the relationship and then what you expect from the other person. And what is the goal of the relationship? The same thing in a husband-wife relationship. Understand why we are together first. It can be many. You would have married for different reasons. But today, when I am in a situation where I need to rebuild relationship, I should first know why we are in a relationship first. Why are we together? What do I expect from the other person? What can I give to the other person? Can we sit and have a normal conversation about it? Before I go in for a conversation, I should be ready with this as to what I expect, what I can compromise, what I'm not ready to compromise, and how can I talk. The same thing applies to relationship with friends, even at office. Being very clear about why. It's very important. Why this relationship in the first place? Then comes what? What I expect, what I'm willing to give, and what can I do to change it. So first the why, then the what. Next, most important, we should understand what is that I am doing which is enhancing the quality of the relationship, and what is that I am doing which is not working to enhance the quality of the relationship. I should know these two. And I should also know what can I do differently which can make the relationship progress further or bring the relationship close together. Because it is very easy, normally it is very easy to find fault on the other person. He or she is not doing this, they don't listen, whatever. Wavelength, they are immature, it can be 100 reasons, it doesn't matter. But first let us start with what I can do, what I cannot do, what I am doing well, what I am not doing well. Third most important part is creating a mind that can listen. Because when relationships have to be rebuilt, I should be able to listen non-judgmentally without any criticism. For that, I should be able to take in whatever the other person says, and normally the other person will come and start blasting you. They will start finding fault at you. They will do everything. That is where sometimes counseling helps, because we can do it in a structured way. Similarly, we are in a sitting with the other person. If you know the basic communication skills, basic listening skills, then you will know that whatever the other person says is something which is just venting out. There's no reason for it. There may be no logic for it. Just allowing them to vent out without you getting affected, which means I should develop proper and right listening skills where I can clear my emotions as I keep listening to the other person. When that time and space is given for clearance, maybe you can do some breath work to clear your mind off. Then you can sit for talking or communicating or expressing. Then the fourth stage comes, which is you start communicating, sharing, planning the agenda. I think this is something which is basic, creating a safe space where all this can be done for yourself and your partner will really help to lay the foundation to rebuild trust. That is number one. Number two, at the end of the discussion, if you agree on doing certain things and not doing on certain things, also agree at a time where you can sit again to discuss the same thing. It's very important. You may think it is very formal, and that I will say it is okay, let it be formal. But it's okay to have formal time in an informal relationship. Mostly, when you talk about formal time in an informal relationship, people start asking, why? Anyways, we know each other. Why should we create so much of formal time, space? Why should I plan? Let me tell you, friends, it's very important, because we live in a situation where there are so many influences that come from outside, so many influences that happen within oneself. And if you are able to structure one specific time, which is common, to discuss just where we are, how we are, and how we can progress, clarify. It can even be 15 minutes a week or half an hour a week. It can play a very big role in enhancing the quality of relationship. So creating this time, agreeing on certain things, and following up with the right actions is very important. Then, when these two happen, let me tell you, there will be a lot of mental space to spend time together, because so many things will come out here, and if you're able to digest everything well, then the next step basically is you can spend time together. Time where there is no reason for spending time. Family activities, moving out, everything happens later. If we don't do these two and try to compensate this by going out, dining out, holidaying, even in holiday there will be argument and disagreements. Rather, getting these two things clear, why we are together, what is that we are willing to do, what is happening well, what is not happening well, and how much are we willing to commit for the relationship. If we are able to get this done, if we are able to get this contract, keep on revisiting this continuously, everything else naturally happens, because this builds more trust, more bonding, because you are creating the space and time. Then trust happens. Now let us understand what are the benefits of having trust in relationship. First and foremost, your life will have more meaning and you will find yourself more involved in what you do. If personal relationships do not work, it will translate negatively into relationships with money, relationships at office, and relationships with friends. Yes, personal relationship or relationship with people who are close to you, if they are smooth, then automatically it will have a positive impact in your professional life and your social life, not the other way about. Because if personal relationship is strained or relationship with people who are close with you are strained, then you may have a mask when you're dealing with people in the society, when you're dealing with people at office, and that brings in a lot of dryness in life. So building trust in relationships, communication, intimacy, respect and commitment helps you to build a life around a proper healthy relationship. That's one thing. Second, life becomes more happy and joyful because you will really have someone to share and someone who can share with you. If you're able to build that quality in your life will move to a different level. And third, you will feel more secure and safe. That's what a relationship is about. It can be with anybody. We like to be with people who make us feel safe. We like to share with people who make us feel safe and happy. And if you are that person, then naturally more people will start gravitating towards you. So basically, there are many reasons why you should build trust in relationship, but of which these three are very important. Life will become more joyful and happy. You will feel very safe and secure. And not only that, you will become more successful in your professional life, in your social life. If you have any queries, any clarifications, you can write to us and we'll come back to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.